I accidentally uploaded the last response to part one of your video series here, Phil, to Holon's network. This will be on my channel, the art that. I'm just gonna leave the other one up. It was an accident, but I don't want to delete it. So, yeah. But I think you're right. If one can remember what it was like to be a child, uh, because the self, the individual ego, hadn't yet really emerged. In a sense, we were already dead. Because whatever death is, yeah, it's the end of the self that we think we are. Our bodies also decompose, but the atoms that we are made of, our substantial being is while we're still alive, constantly in process. It's constant. The atoms that compose us are constantly passing into and out of us. So whatever constitutes our individual form, it's not the matter of which we are made. It's something in a something which has a dimensionality deeper than mere matter. It seems to have entered a temporal dimension. In other words, our bodies are composed of billion-year genetic memories and shorter physiological memories, and our structure is itself etched in time by a stylus which has never been lifted up as you were describing it. In other words, creation itself is an ongoing process which isn't ever fully aware of what it is that it's creating. So the pen never lifts up off the page, it simply draws. And what is created, what is drawn, God itself doesn't know what will come next, at least as a created being or experiential center. Because certainly the ego is illusory, but while we are alive, it appears more real than anything. And it seems that, as the German poet Rilke put it, God learns in human beings. God experiences things that God didn't know. And our birth and our death are learning experiences for the divine. And this is almost in a way, it is a testing ground or an experimental an experiment where we're trying things that have never been tried before. Each of us as individuals, sure, we are drops of experience in a larger sea of universal consciousness, but we still have some sort of a distinguishing mark. And each of us as individuals is unique. Never did anyone like you or I ever exist before. And recognizing that, I think, is, in terms of our form, our individual form, certainly it's a transitory form, but whatever its form is, it seems precious, right? It's where experience happens. Individual organisms, individual forms. That's where reality is brought forth. Independent of living creatures, what is there? Mere matter? For there to be a world at all, certainly a world worth caring about, there has to be creatures, living beings who have a stake in the world. So while we certainly don't want to get too caught up in the ego, but recognizing the transitoriness of the ego doesn't mean that our experience and the experience of other individuals isn't, in some way, the very basis of the universe. There are actual entities. There is a whole as well. But recognizing the whole doesn't force you to completely subsume the parts within that whole. The parts can still be distinguished, I think, and recognized and appreciated, because they're just as whole as the whole. Right? Is there really an ultimate whole, or are there just a series of holons? Is there an outside to existence, to reality, or is it just a series of nested holes which continually, reality itself, as soon as it tries to realize itself, it reconceives of itself within a larger whole. But then it's not finished yet. It keeps doing this. And never is the final frame found. So when we talk about God, we've got to be careful not to reify the concept into a being of some sort. It's not to say that God isn't real. It's just to say that whatever God might be, it's never going to be something you, as a temporal being, could grasp, or hold on to, or understand in a merely intellectual way. So when we use the word, we can never be quite sure what we mean by it. So chew on those words, and if they're nourishing, let me know. If not, just flush them down. Let them go away, right? Be gone with those words. Either way, it's always good to hear your thoughts, and I thank you for listening to mine. Take it easy.